Okay, so let's look at part 3. Let's look at your daily time management. If you want to get ahead, you got to get started. Mark Twain once said, break your complex, overwhelming tasks into manageable ones, and then start on the first one. Begin with small steps, which will eventually help you climb mountains. And that's the way anything is. I can't go out and run a marathon the first day. I need to be jogging, and I need to be uh, running and expanding the time that I'm spending with running and walking and building my endurance until I can start running a marathon. I encourage you to pause this and fill out the daily schedule. Go through and look at which activities that you want and need to start doing on a daily basis. It's okay that you don't do it every day, but now you'll have a checklist and you can track which days you're doing it. So, for example, you may say, okay, on Monday nights at 9 p.m. and on Thursdays, I will spend 15 minutes reading about uh, real estate, or I will start tracking my eating habits, or I will start uh, take 20 minutes each day to read more about finances in order to learn how to handle my finances better. There's a lot of words that we use, and so I challenge you, which word describes you? Tomorrow, someday, not sure, in the future? Our words are very powerful. And so how we say things, what we're saying internally in our own minds, as well as externally to others, will describe our approach to life and the actions that we take. A second part of this is the 90-day cycle. In sales, 90 days is seen to be the most efficient because it's not too long that you lose sight of the goal. So you begin to see some positive changes in 90 days, and it's not too short, like just a few hours or a couple of days, but it keeps you motivated to go. Keep working at a goal for those 3 months. So on your handout, you can look through and write down what are you planning to accomplish in the next 90 days. Now, we're going to fill this in more detail when we get to the goal setting section, but at least this gives you an idea of what you want to be accomplishing and starting to think about 90 days at a time. And the last part of this section is your yearly time management. We need to know our busy seasons, and more importantly, we need to plan for our busy seasons. So there may be traditional holidays that culturally or religiously are celebrated. Well, you know that you're going to be a bit busier that time visiting friends and family. For those of you in school who have some time in the summer where you're working or that you're relaxing or going to camps, you know that those will be times when you are focused on doing activities. So plan that into your 90-day cycle, plan that into your daily and weekly activities so that you know and are prepared when they come up, that you'll be spending less time or that you'll be adjusting your finances, adjusting your eating habits at those busy times. I like this quote, until we manage time, we can manage nothing else. I'll give you an example about how in a year, going from August, September, October, up until June, July, August of the following year, this is taken from the teaching world, but for teachers who get started, they have this sense of anticipation. They're really excited and energized, and then they have, we say the honeymoon's over. They feel disillusioned. They feel that things are going wrong. You know, they don't really like the kids. Usually that's after the second or third month. They feel a bit more re-energized because they come up to a break, usually in December, January, and that may highlight or end in February or March. They think about what they're doing, and a lot of teachers say, you know what, teaching isn't for me, and they decide to move into a different field, and so they quit from their job and they either try a different school or a different grade, or they stop teaching altogether. What's interesting is for those that have a support system, principal, other teachers, a mentor, a coach, an understanding of the different cycles and the feelings that they go through, they have the same steps, anticipation, disillusionment, re-energizing, reflection, but then they have a chance to grow and they actually improve and move forward into the next year where they have anticipation for the new school year because this reflection time, this is opportunity to talk to principals, teachers, and coaches and realize what's normal, then they say, oh, okay, what I'm doing is fine, this is working, I'm seeing changes, and they can then get more self-confidence and move forward. Stephen Covey is someone who I've read a lot of. Um, Seven Principles of Highly Successful People, the Eighth Habit, other books that he wrote over his career. He said this: the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, which is what the average person does, but to schedule your priorities. And there's a famous illustration where you look at rocks, and big rocks, small rocks, sand, and water. And if you put in the water or the sand and then the big rocks and the other smaller rocks, they don't really fit well. But if you put in the biggest rocks first and then the smaller rocks fit around it, and then you pour the sand in and it sits its way around, and then you pour the water in on top, now you can fit those things in. And for many of us, the sand and the water are what we spend our time on, but we need to be making sure that the big rocks are in place first. Family, recreation, taking care of our bodies, our health, uh, those types of things before we add new things to our schedule or look at how the less important things in life fit into what we're doing. So I bring you back to the question I started you with. Time is our most precious resource. Do we really believe it? And what changes will you make in order to refocus your time and your energy? I'll leave you with some assignments. Take 15 to 20 minutes and make a schedule that you want to have starting in 3 months. What I mean by that is you've made your weekly schedule. I encourage you to make another weekly schedule, but with the new activities or the changes you want to make. Look at busy activities that you want to take out, look at free time and fill that in with some things that you want to study or learn or focus on, so that you have that in your as a mental picture and a mindset. Oh, right now it's like this, but in 3 months I want my schedule to look like that. Fill out the daily schedule with the routine things that you need or want to start doing. You may have already done that. Look at the next 90 days and then take a calendar and look at that. Start filling in activities that you will do or what you want to do, so that you start planning a little bit longer range than just, oh, today or this week. And as part of this package, you will get a free 20-minute Skype or phone call with me. And so you can go to my website and then go under my schedule activities, and or you can send me an email and we can figure out, looking at the schedule, when's the best time for you to now reflect and just give me some feedback and interact with me on your time. And then the next module that you take, we'll talk about those two when we have a chance to talk by phone or by Skype. So I thank you for following through with these successful transitions, and I look forward to interacting with you in the next module as we move forward.